Hey guys, thanks so much for clicking on the video. You know what? I have actually been prompted to create a series of videos, and you know, at times, for those of you who actually know me and have been with me for a while, you know that I'll do that. Something will come about and it will prompt me to actually do a series of videos. And generally when I do a series of videos, they're usually a very personal content, and it's something that's too long for me to just do a one long video. There's more parts to it. So here we go. I was watching a video the other day of one of my people that I actually follow, somebody that I'm just absolutely just crazy about. And I'm not going to put his name out there, but I was watching one of his videos. If you've seen it, you've seen it. But he's a foster parent, okay? He does a form of respite care. So, me personally, I am an adoptive parent, okay? But I've never done respite care, but I've done, you know, I had to start off by doing foster care, and then I rolled it into adoption. I've done 2 adoptions. I have 2 legal adoptions. So, but I was watching his video, and in the midst of his video, there came a whole little situation where one of his foster children was mouthing him. And I mean literally a back and forth exchange that really bothered me. It bothered me, and it prompted me to write a comment to him. And I had to think about it for a minute, you know, because it's touchy. When you talk about someone's children and them and their exchange, is very touchy. But it bothered me in such a way, and it touched me in such a way that I couldn't help but send the comment. And I sent the comment, and he and I had an exchange, and it was, you know, it was really good, and that whole kind of thing. But that whole situation prompted me to do this series of videos. And I'm going to call this series of videos, Can We Talk? No, I mean really talk. Like, can we really talk? Uncandidly. I'm going to say what I feel needs to be said. Okay? And I'm going to tell you now, the subject is going to be the dark side of adoption and foster care / respite care. Okay? So, if you got some personal issues about that, you may not want to hear what I have to say, then I'm going to tell you to go ahead and click off the video now. Because you may actually view me differently once I say everything that I have to say. At this point in my life, I'm not even going to worry about that. I can't. I'm going to say what it is that I feel like needs to be said. I'm getting ready to give it to you all straight, raw, no chaser, period. So if you're not ready for this, I'm going to ask you to go ahead and X off of the video now. If you stay beyond this, where am I at? 3 minutes, 50 seconds. You stay beyond here, baby, it's on you. And I'm going to I'm opening me up to you. I'm going to become very transparent here. And I know there's going to be some comments that I'm not going to like. And that whole thing, I'm not going to argue. I'm not going to argue. You know, I don't do all that. But I'm going to share. And I'm going to become, like I said, very transparent at this point. And, I know I'm not going to like all the comments and all of that. You're not going to like everything that I have to say. But if you stay beyond here, don't give me no bullshit. Don't be trying to get mad with me. It is what it is because I already told you what it was. So let's go. Can we talk? I mean really talk about the dark side of adoption and foster care, basically. So I'm going to take this down, and we're going to do different subjects as we go forth. And there's a lot. There's a lot. We're going to talk about entitlement. We're going to talk about the birth parents and the siblings. We're going to talk about bad behavior, verbal bad behavior, as well as, physical bad behavior. Displaced anger. I'm going to attack all these things in this series of videos. Separation, if there actually has to be a separation in the actual adoptive home. I'm going to talk about all these things, and I'm going to focus, one of the big ones is the public shame. I'm going to talk about that. That's going to be a big one. That's going to be a big one. But just the same, I'm going to cover all of these things, okay? What makes me an authority to be able to do so is because, I don't talk about anything that I haven't lived. I've lived all those topics. So, yes, I'm a goddamn authority to be able to speak about these topics, and that's just exactly what I'm going to do. I am going to take the coat off, and I'm going to share my feelings about my personal adoptions and the adoption system, period. So I'm going to say, I live in Pennsylvania. So we're just going to start right there. So I know what goes on in Pennsylvania. That's all I can really speak about, is what goes on in Pennsylvania and what's actually going on in my life and in my personal home. So here we go. We just going to do this and see how it goes. The first thing I am actually going to speak about in this video is actually going to be entitlement. I'm going to need to know, okay? Well, let me just start by saying I do have 2 adoptive children. I have a 12-year-old and I have a 8-year-old. I've had my 12-year-old, I got him when he was 18 months. My 8-year-old, I took directly from the hospital, okay? He was 12 hours old. They are family members of mine. They're family members. Their mother is my first cousin, okay? She just not cut from the cloth to be a mother, didn't want to be a mother, whatever, however have you. So I did everything that I needed to do, and I did have to start off as a foster parent, and then it actually rolled into adoption. But, from the beginning, I always knew that I was going to adopt them. So, okay, so here we go. So, entitlement. I'm going to start right off the bat when it comes to entitlement in children that have been displaced, and adoptive children and foster children, children that are part of the system. I definitely played some part of a role, I know for a fact, in some of the entitlement. I spoiled. I did. I really did. I spoiled my children. There was always an abundance. I always went out of my way so that they had an abundance, and they really didn't know. They don't know very much about because you're always overcompensating, which is ridiculous because it's really not necessary. Listen, fuck what your life was before. This is what your life is now. And, and I've learned this. It's not necessary to overcompensate and overgive and overshower them with material things because of how they started off. Because we all know as adults, it does not matter where you started from. It matters where you are and where you're on your way to, okay? So that was one of the big mistakes I made. I was overcompensating, okay? But it just, even with that, what I found, not just me, not just my children, for some reason, it seems as though children that have been in the system have this very strange entitlement issue. The world always owes them something. And I think a lot of it is, and again, I'm not saying everybody, not every foster child, not every adopted child, but a whole goddamn lot of them, You know, as they move forward, and I see it in the adults. And I'm going to wrap it right on around to their mammies and their daddies as well. The motherfuckers who actually gave them away or had them taken away. Where do these motherfuckers get all of this entitlement? I don't understand it. My cousin is just ridiculous. She doesn't feel like anything she's done is wrong. You know, whatever it just is what it is. Did nothing for the kids. She doesn't come and see the kids. Nothing. Because the world fucking owes her something. Where the fuck do you get this entitlement? You laid down and shit out 4 babies and walked the fuck away from them like a dog. You don't have anything nice to say about me. I have 2 of them. One of my aunt has 1 of them. And her sister-in-law had 1 of them. She's got 4 kids, all spread out in the neighborhood. They have no nothing going on. You got nothing going on, yet you got such bad things to say in the streets about the people that are taking care of your fucking kids after you shit them out and walked away. Where do you get the nerve to even go there? And this entitlement, the world owes you something. Everything needs to be on your terms. Because the world owes you something. Nobody owe you a motherfucking thing. Not nothing. Not nothing. And then you have these motherfucking kids that you'd have left behind. And goddamn, you look up and they have entitlement issues. Because woe is me, this is what happened to me. Meanwhile, got a better life than a whole lot of kids that everything was normal for. Where the fuck does that entitlement come from? That I'm going to leave this right there. Then, like I said, we're going to do a whole series of these things, and I don't have all the answers for everything. So some things are just going to be questions. I want to know what you guys are thinking. What have you experienced? If you choose to share, leave it down there in those comments. That is why I'm actually doing this. I'm looking for an open, rolling conversation about these things. It's not just a gripe session or just the things that I don't care for about my adoption. And some of it ain't even things that I just don't care for. A lot of it is things I don't fucking understand. I don't understand. And entitlement is one of them. I don't even understand where the fuck it came from and how in the fuck does it even exist. Entitlement. Ridiculous. You don't act right, yet you still feel as though you're entitled to something. You're the most important person. Crazy, crazy, crazy. So, on that, I'm going to end right here on that one. I would love to know what you guys think about when it comes to foster children and adoptive children and that strange entitlement. Or have you actually even run into that? Trust me, I have. On 2 children, I've run into this very strange entitlement thing. And I understand I did make some mistakes in the beginning, but here we are on a second child where I haven't made those same mistakes with him as I did with the first one. Yet that entitlement issue's there, and it's worse. You know, with his personality amplifies things a little bit different. My youngest child is very, very bold and very outspoken, whereas the other one kind of has a little bit of a filter. My youngest one doesn't really have a filter. You know, it is what the fuck it is. Everybody owe me something, you know. I don't get it. I don't get it. Lord have mercy, I don't get it. But again, and hopefully this will open up, and we'll talk about some other things about as far open conversation in another video, because that's what I found. Once I start having some situations with my adoptive children, then I started to notice, you know, once I opened up and started talking instead of trying to internalize everything, trying to handle everything in-house, when I started speaking outwardly, when I found out a lot of people who have foster children or who have raised other folks as children have a lot of the same goddamn problems. But nobody's really willing to say anything because you're so afraid of what people are going to say in the street. Who fucking cares? But that's a whole nother video altogether. And like I said, the public shame of, the public shame of it when things aren't going peachy king and all roses. But this video here is about entitlement. Where does it come from? Why does it exist? And really, are you fucking joking? So, leave your comments. And I'll talk to you guys real soon. Let's go ahead and have an open forum here. Thumbs up, thumbs down. You guys know how that works on the videos. And I'll talk to you on the next video, guys. Bye for now.